Hi, my daughter lives here. I got a call from 2 cousins. My son murdered them all.
These officers have just arrived to meet with the mother of 41-year-old Martin Muniz after reports that Martin may have murdered their entire family. In just a few minutes, they will walk into the crime scene, unaware that they are about to make the most horrifying discovery of their careers.
Hey, Sarge, given permission to go inside his...
Hey, we don't need permission.
Oh, yo, it's real. Get EMS rolling.
Inside this very home, they would find 5 innocent people, and those closest to this poor mom, fatally shot and fighting for their life. As the man behind this massacre walks right into their hands,
I'm serious, I'm not crazy. And you could go to the address and verify.
they will discover that they are dealing with a mass killer, because the murders of his own family may not be the only Martin has committed.
This ain't the first time I'm killing somebody. I'm guilty of it. You can write it down. I don't really care.
On October 13th, 2023, police in Ohio taking a peaceful little dinner break were startled by a knocking at their window. A man, 41-year-old Martin Muniz, approached them and told them 4 chilling words before they turned on their cameras. "I did something bad."
I'm serious, I'm not crazy. And you could go to the address and verify the address. But I want you to handcuff me first.
Alright, let me pull up really quick. What the hell, dude? Hold on, I got us. Get out,
He approached our vehicle and said that he just did something bad. He said that he'll fight.
Other cops were dispatched to the given address. They were, understandably, just as confused as the initial arresting officers, who were much more interested in their cold cuts than the cold case sitting in front of them. Responding officers arrived at the home where Martin Muniz was living, a home owned by his sister, Angelic Gonzalez, her husband, Anthony Booth, and Angelic and Martin's father, Miguel Gonzalez. Also in the home were Angelic's 2 children, a teen boy and a young girl. Initially, police hoped that this was just a disturbed man claiming the unthinkable, but shortly after arriving at the scene, it became clear that wasn't the case.
What's wrong?
Supposedly killed 5 people.
Where am I going?
Hi, my daughter lives here. I got a call from 2 cousins. My son murdered them all. I don't know. I just got here and I don't trust him, so I was afraid to knock on the door. I was waiting for you guys.
His son's not here. I don't believe.
Yeah.
He approached you.
Do you know the cousin? Does he have mental disorders? What's up?
Who?
Who's the guy that
My
called?
son, yes, he was locked up for 20 years. Yes, he's got mental.
What was he locked up for?
All kinds of violations. I mean,
Like violence
yes,
against people?
yes, yeah.
Okay,
he was
well,
locked up for
just
20
hang
years.
tight for us.
But my daughter's car's back home. I got my closest friend.
I wasn't notified of anyone being inside.
Cleveland police! Oh, shit. Cleveland police! Somebody's on the bed. Oh, yo, it's real. Get EMS rolling.
Inside, in the first bedroom, police discovered the body of 35-year-old Angelic Gonzalez, deceased from a gunshot wound. They then uncovered 4 more victims, each in a different room of the home, having suffered the same fate. 16-year-old Jaden Baez, Angelic's son, Anthony Booth, her husband, and Miguel Gonzalez, her father. In a back bedroom, they discovered Iana, the youngest of the family, who was clinging to life. They rushed her to the hospital, where thankfully she made a full recovery. Unfortunately, no one else was that lucky. Martin annihilated his entire family, his sister, brother-in-law, nephew, and his own father. You'd think committing a crime that heinous would fill even the most depraved person with shame, but in Martin's mind, it was justified. Police bring him to the station for questioning, where he quickly waives his Miranda rights and gets down to the nitty-gritty of this horrible case, and he spares no details, nor an ounce of emotion.
Mr. Muniz, Detective Schultz and I, Chuck and I, we're really not too up to speed on what all is taking place here this evening.
Well, I tried to kill my sister's whole family, but 2 of them got lucky and lived.
2 of them got lucky and lived.
The other 3 didn't.
What prompted that?
Just the way people treat me.
Okay.
You know, I came home from prison. I didn't bother nobody. I tried to get a job. They're gonna tell you when they scrambled through my tablet. I was on Deed. I did job interviews. I went to Catholic churches. Just couldn't get a job. And then they make food, but they eat it all. So by the time I get to it, there's nothing to eat. And all they tell me is that's my business. Okay. So I let that go on for months. You know, I got blisters on my feet from walking 11 miles trying to get a job, but you guys got 2 cars and you can't drive me. So I killed him.
So how long have you been living at the house on that?
Couple months.
Couple months. And again, I don't know anything about your history, Mr. Muniz. How long have you been out of prison?
4 years.
4 years? Okay.
You've been staying at your sister's the whole time?
No, I've been to Texas, I've been to Jersey, I've been to Illinois, here.
So, Mr. Muniz, can you walk us through the events of this evening, how it transpired?
No, I came upstairs to eat, and I asked my sister's dad. No, I'm lying. I asked Jaden, her son. I said, "Yo, where is the rest of the food at?" He said, "No, it's gone." I'm like, "What you mean it's gone? I didn't even eat yet." So he was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." So I said, "Okay, well, where's my sister at?" So I asked my sister. I said, "Where's the food at?" She said, "I don't know. Why are you asking me?" I said, "Okay." I said, "Yo, I didn't eat. We're gonna have a problem." Nobody said nothing. So they had to go.
What happened when you left the house? Can you recall where you went?
I don't know, man. I just wanted a gun in my hand.
Sure. Any idea where you put that?
No.
Not certain.
Did you take it out of the house with you?
Yeah, it was on me. I don't know where I put it. I had to put it somewhere.
But you left the house with the gun.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna leave it there. This ain't the first time I'm killing somebody. I got caught with the first gun on the first body. They just couldn't prove it was me.
Where was that?
New Jersey. I gave the guy, his name is James, on October 13th, 2013, Northgate Park, broad daylight.
Why'd you do that?
He robbed me.
What was his name?
James. You can call them and verify if you like.
In just 3 minutes, Marty Boy here has given police more information than most suspects give in a 3-hour interrogation. And though it may sound shocking, or like a case of criminal clout chasing, it's anything but. As of the publishing of this video, Martin is being prosecuted for the murder of 45-year-old Jamie Molina, who was shot in the street in Camden, New Jersey in 2013. For nearly a decade, the case was unsolved. Martin is clearly a psychopath. But unlike a lot of psychopaths, he's not lying about his criminal behavior, which makes for one of the most shocking interrogations ever captured. And it's far from over.
When you left the house, did you leave the house on foot or in a cart?
No, I walked.
You walked? You know, all the way over to Clark Avenue? Is that where you flagged down the police?
Yeah, I guess. I just want to see any cop, man, just so I can go back home. I don't belong on the streets. I don't. You got other people who belong on the streets. I don't. They should have never let me home.
So when you left the house for walking, did you like throw it in a garbage can, a house, or just on the street?
I don't know. My mind was just focused on I need to go home. I didn't care about where the gun was at. I didn't care about if they was looking for me, nothing. I just wanted to come back home.
Where's home?
The box. I don't want nothing else. So I'm guilty of it. You can write it down. I don't really care.
So do you recall who all was in the house?
Well, I know I walked into my sister's room and I shot Tone first.
You say Tone?
Yeah. Anthony.
Is that the 16-year-old?
No, that's the black dude. I shot him first.
Boyfriend?
My sister's husband.
Okay.
And then my sister looked at me and put her hands up, and I shot her. Then I walked out the room, and my niece told me, "How you doing?" And I didn't want to shoot her. I didn't want her to die, so I didn't shoot her. The boy I shot. Then I went upstairs and I shot him.
Who?
Angel. And then I came back downstairs and I walked back in my sister's room and I shot Tony again. And then I went next to my sister and I put a bullet in the back of her.
Now, your niece, was she shot at all?
Yeah, I shot her, but I didn't want her to die. She's harmless. Just I wouldn't have killed her son either. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't want her to die. So I didn't. The guy upstairs that died, he used to be as a kid. And he got away with it because nobody would listen to me when I used to ask for help. Nobody listened. And that's when I ran away. So I killed him.
So, Mr. Nunez, you said you got out of prison four years ago?
Yeah, at the end of 2018.
And how long have you been in there?
Altogether, I did 21 years, but in between, I've been home maybe 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 times. 2013, December 13, 2013, I got caught. I had the gun that I killed Jamie with. And I copped out to the gun so they wouldn't pay attention to the murder. And it worked. They gave me 5 with a 5. Leave the day.
That was here?
No, that was in New Jersey.
Martin spent his life in prison for a variety of charges. In 2002, he was arrested for domestic violence in an incident where he beat up his girlfriend in front of her 4 children. He was only put behind bars for 3 months. Released in early 2003, he went to that girlfriend's house and set fire to it, burning it to the ground. Which really makes you think about these short sentences a bit, doesn't it? He was imprisoned for arson, and in the aftermath he was in and out of prison for violating his parole, mainly for operating vehicles under the influence and driving without a license. So, Martin's right. He definitely shouldn't be out on the streets. The tragedy is that it took us this long to see it.
You said you killed Jamie because he robbed you?
Yeah, he robbed me in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him when he was robbing me that I would give him my money. It's unnecessary for you to, a scary guy will shoot you faster than I will.
Mm-hmm.
And he started shaking. And I'm telling him, dude, just take the money I'm giving you and go. Like, I'm not even going to look for you because I understand the streets. And he kept doing it. And then he slapped me with the gun. And his mistake was he allowed me to look up. So he had prison Reeboks on and prison sweatpants on. And some type of, I don't know what the fuck he had on his face. And he ran. So somebody brought me a gun and I started walking around. Between 3 and 4 o'clock, I seen him cross the street. I went followed behind him. He walked to somebody's door and started banging on the door. When he walked to the sidewalk, and I walked away. That happened October. So I don't know. I guess they was looking for somebody. I don't know. December 13th was Friday of 2013, and there was 3 kids throwing snowballs at a police car. So, and I had drugs on me. I was gonna pay them $500 each to stop so I could get the hell away. Well, that didn't work. The guy's name was Chief. He pulled the van over, yanked me out the van. I had the gun that I killed Jamie on me. And I told him I had it on me. They slammed me around and all that kind of extra shit. And when I went to court, was supposed to be 51 years and 9 months. Well, I know that the judge was a family court judge, so I plead on it. And I told her my mother had lung cancer. So she told me, well, what do you want to do? I said, I'll cop out to a certain person's charge for the gun, a 5 with a 5 right now. You can send me down the street. And that's what she did. Before I came home, homicide came to see me. 2 of them. Some lady and a bald-headed guy. And they was asking questions about Jamie. Because I guess they ran ballistics on the pistol. So during their questioning, I kept asking them, are you charging me with murder or homicide or anything like that? They kept saying no. I asked them 3 times. After the 3rd time, I don't want to talk to them. And I told the police, you could get me out of here. I don't know what you want to do with them. They didn't catch me.
There is no evidence that Jamie was trying to steal from Martin on the day of his death. He was shot just before 1:30 p.m. on October 30th, while he was working at a cart as a street vendor. As Martin has stated, he was arrested in December of 2013, and the gun used to kill Jamie was taken into evidence as part of his arrest. By April of 2015, police identified the gun that Martin possessed as the exact gun that had killed Jamie, and yet he was not prosecuted for the murder of Jamie.
Look, New Jersey. You know where in New Jersey?
What? When Jamie died?
Yeah.
Yeah, right outside Northgate Park.
Northgate Park?
Yeah. North Camden.
Northgate Park. North Camden?
Yeah, North Camden. C-A-M-D-E-N.
C-A-M?
C-A-M-D-E-N.
That was on October 13th? Or
Yeah,
2013, right?
Yeah, 2013. I believe it was October 13th.
It was Jamie, what was his last name again?
Jamie Molina. M-O-L-I-N-A.
I'm a horrible speller. Slow. M-O.
L-I.
L-I.
N-A.
N-A?
Yeah.
Oh, black male, white male?
Spanish guy.
How old was he? Do you remember?
No, he had to be. I didn't know the kid. I just killed him because he robbed me.
What, was he younger than you?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if you know, sometimes you can tell, like, was he just a punk, young punk robbing you, or just...
I think he just came home and saw me like, okay, I can take his money and get it started. I was selling work. So he probably watched us for a couple of days. He had to be a bum because he had the prison clothes still on and the sneakers. And he robbed me. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning.
When you shot him?
No, when he robbed me.
Oh.
When I shot him was in the afternoon between 3, I don't know the exact time.
No.
That was between 3 and 4 o'clock. I know that much. Right before I did it, my cousin told me, when I walked out the door, she said, yo, before you leave, a lot of people die for that park. And I said, man, and I left. I went 2 blocks, and I made a left, and I seen him cross the street with the same clothes on. I said, I got this one. And I walking behind him, and he went to somebody's door, acting like he was gonna knock on the door. It was the second house from going inside the park. I believe it was a blue house. He was knocking on the door, and when he seen me, he came back down. He was standing like on some little grass. And I said something to him. His eyes got real big, and I shot him. I know his name because in 2000, right before I left, so 2017, 2 homicide people came in, and they told me, yo, we're having a hard time trying to get anything on this guy. Like, there's no witnesses, there's no nothing. And it was a lady talking, a guy was watching me, and the lady said, it's hard to believe that somebody dies in broad daylight next to a public park and nobody sees shit. I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. And she said, well, the gun you got caught with is the gun that killed him. Where did you get it from? I said, well, somebody tried to rob me on Broadway in the middle of the night, and I took it. And she told me, you know, there's a camera. It was a Chinese store. She told me, you know, there's a camera there. I said, well, go look at it. Never came back. Well, once you call them, they've been looking for who killed that kid.
That's why it's for a little.
Yeah, I think the bald-headed guy was a juvenile homicide, or vice versa. I think the bald-headed guy was juvenile homicide, and then it was a tall girl that was questioning. The bald-headed guy just kept staring at me.
That you think was 2017?
Yeah, it was like 1 year before I left. It might be 2016. I know they questioned me in South Woods State Prison.
Southwood?
Yeah, Southwood. I was in South Woods. I was in a medical unit because I popped my Achilles tendon. Why had that dude's family? I don't know. I guess looking for I'm numb to death, so I guess people look for closure or whatever. You know, why drag it along, man? When I know I'm never coming home now, so might as well get rid of it now.
Jamie's family was left without answers for over a decade. There was almost nothing published in the local newspaper regarding his death, aside from a single article, marking him as the 45th homicide in Camden that year. There were no updates about the investigation, no appeals for the killer to come forward. For nearly a decade, there was silence. And then, every single detail they could possibly imagine came out of another tragedy, one that Martin continues to talk very casually about.
This one right here, I don't feel like running. I don't feel like going through difficulties, so I figure I just kill a whole family, tell you guys come get me and go back home. Simple shit. You guys are making it harder than it needs to be. All you have to do is say I'm guilty on paper. That's it.
We're not trying to make it complicated.
Well, they are. You know how many people was on that street? They got.
No, we weren't over there, so we have no idea.
You know what I find amazing is if I'm in a police car and you have people walking up there that I guess they feel some type of way that I killed them. If you're really gonna do something to me, why are you standing in front of the cops? Why not just wait till the police car starts moving and shoot at it? So you want to be seen, and this is why I can't live with people on the streets are stupid. They don't have no sense. They want to be seen. They want to be the center of attention. I don't. Just put me back in the box and forget whatever. I don't care. Whatever, however they're gonna play. Send me back there. I don't want to be seen. I don't belong out here, man. I can't get used to this out here. They don't have no respect out here. Everything is a problem out here. If I walk too hard, it's a problem. If I don't get a job fast enough, it's a problem. You know how much I weighed when I moved to my sister's house? 320 pounds. Do I look like I'm 320 pounds, man? Because they starved me. But it's okay. It's okay for them to do all that. It was okay for months. I just had to sit in the basement and shut up like a dog. I got tired of it. I never been nobody's. I let them live because she was my sister for as long as they was living, or she would have been dead. And I kept telling them to stop messing with me. Just leave me alone. I'm gonna get a job. It's just taking me longer than most people. You know, somebody doing an application or interview is gonna ask you, you've been locked up. Yeah, I did 21 years. You think they're gonna hire you, man? It's not easy. They kept, or they make smart little comments. You know, I know your feet hurt. Yeah, my feet hurt. Dude, I walk 11 miles trying to get a job because you won't drive me. And I'll pay you gas money when I get paid, dude. I ain't doing nothing for free. What hurts me the most is he lived. That's what hurts.
Is that Angel?
No. The black dude lived. Not good. Not good at all.
Mr. Muniz, we'd like to ask your consent to get a DNA swab from you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever you guys want. When the next time? When will the next time I'll get some food or something? The county or?
Yeah, over at the county.
That's gonna be a while, right?
So, Mr. Muniz, you understand that you have a constitutional right to refuse giving us your DNA sample if you're okay.
Yeah,
And
I'll give you
require us to
consent.
get a search warrant.
No, I do like you.
Got it, or do you need a little help? Form in here.
There have never been any public statements made about Martin's life living with his sister, but the fact that she allowed him to live there, given his crimes, really shows the care she had for her brother, regardless of his past. Unfortunately, he repaid that care by doing the unthinkable. And, as he's repeatedly stated, he doesn't care. Police take his DNA sample and place a pizza order for the serial killer sitting in their interrogation room.
When you were driving, you think you threw the gun and phone out?
I don't know, man. I know I probably threw them somewhere. I don't have that phone on me, and I don't go nowhere without my phone. I don't know what.
Want another water?
No, I'm just hungry.
I know. Like I said, we're waiting on the pizza. I ain't eat either.
I just want something to eat.
No. So I'll be here in a minute. So just, if you could, like I said, try to remember if you had your phone or not.
I had it on me. I probably threw it somewhere. I had to. I don't go nowhere without my phone. I called Lourdes. She's the one that called the police.
Who?
Lourdes.
Who's Lourdes?
My ex-girlfriend.
What's her name?
Her name is Lourdes. If you call her, she'd probably tell you some shit.
Lourdes?
Yeah, if you call her right now, she'll probably tell you. She's probably
What's her last name?
She's the one that used to pay my phone bill.
Does she live in Ohio?
No, she lives in Illinois.
Illinois?
I know I was talking to her. You should call her.
You talked to her today?
Yeah, you should call her.
Okay, no, I will. I'm just asking if you talked to her today.
I talked to her right after I did it.
Was your brother-in-law from Illinois too?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. He said.
I didn't know if you guys were all.
He said he's from England. I don't know where the hell.
When's the last time you talked to Lourdes?
Today. Right after I did it. I called her and she said, I'm gonna call first she said, why'd you do it? And then I said, I don't know. And then she said, I'm calling somebody. I said, I'm calling nobody. She said, I'm calling somebody. So she's the one that called Ohio. Yeah. But call her and verify with her, because she'll tell you everything you need to know. She knows everything about it. Everything, dude. She's probably up right now. I can guarantee you. She's waiting for people to call her.
And you said she was paying your phone bill?
Yeah, she was paying my phone bill.
Do you know, was it through AT&T or?
No, yeah, it's through AT&T, but she'll tell you everything. Everything you need to know, she'll tell you. I guarantee you. Everything.
How long did you guys date?
For, I don't know, 2 years, 2.5 years, but I used to always accuse her of cheating, so she kicked me out.
Did you live in Illinois?
Yeah, I lived with her. Then I lived with her brother, and I slapped her brother's wife, or girlfriend, whatever. And she called the police on me. They locked me up for a day, and they released me. And I came to Ohio.
How long you been in Ohio?
I don't know, a couple months, I think. Like 2 months, maybe.
Martin didn't just call his ex-girlfriend, he FaceTimed her. In the call, according to her, He was sobbing as he told her the details about what he had done to his family, people she had met multiple times. So, shockingly, we have learned one thing. Martin is, at least, capable of crying, and capable of getting irrationally angry over food, as he's about to describe in detail.
I think my sister ran twice, maybe out 3 months, maybe going on 3 months. I used to work for some guy at a rental shop. He was training me to do the reception job, but I didn't like sitting down at a computer all day. I told him that, and one day some guy came in that wanted a car, and I kept telling him, I don't want to rent you a car because I don't think you got money. And he walked outside, kept pacing back and forth. So the boss guy came in, I said, yo, I don't trust this guy, bro. And you got me up here, I ain't got no gun on me or nothing. What if he come in and start shooting? I can't defend myself. I said, I can't do this job. And that's the last day I worked for him. That's how I was paying my sister rent. So then when I started working there, I told my sister I'm gonna try to get a regular job, like the normal people. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, Thursday, I went to a job interview at Pivot Staffing, and they I took a piss, and they said my piss was dirty. I'm like, man, I ain't smoked no November 24th. I don't know how the hell my piss was dirty, but they said it was dirty. So I called my sister and told her my pee is dirty. I'm gonna have to clean it out before I get a job. And she told me, nah, that's not good enough, man. You're gonna have to make it work somehow. Now, how the fuck I'm gonna make it work? Because I'm not gonna be tying nothing around myself to piss in no cup. I'm not doing that. And then both of them came home that day, and they started acting funny. So first she told her son to make something to eat. At 10 o'clock at night, she told him to make some, I don't know if you know what they are, but empanadas. They look like, okay, she told him to make, at 10 o'clock at night, he had to make 3 packs of those for her to give it to her, whoever. And her son told her, Mom, I have to go to school. She said, I don't give a f. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I came upstairs and I said, yo, Jay, you ate today? He like, nah. I asked Dion, you ate today? He said, no. I said, so nobody in this house ate, but my sister wants you to make food for somebody else, to take to somebody else. But none of us ate here in this house. So I went to the basement. I said, damn, I'm getting tired of this shit, man. I'm getting tired of it. And I couldn't sleep. And that's all I thought about, man. Just get rid of them. And then today, they came home. My sister ordered cleaning supplies delivered to the house. So I cleaned the house up. And then she came home. And they made chicken and macaroni and mashed potatoes. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went downstairs in the basement. I'm on my bed. And my feet hurt because I got blisters on my feet. So I was laying down for a while, but in my head, I'm going to go upstairs and eat later. And I went upstairs. I don't see no food nowhere. Oh, man, what? And that was the last straw, man. I said, I'm tired of this shit. I'm already losing massive amounts of weight, like I'm practicing something. And then I come home, so my thing was I would clean the house to justify me staying there. So you can never say I'm not just living there. And then at the same time, I'm trying to work. I'm walking around trying to get a job with her. And then I sometimes I will cook for them. I just got tired of that shit, man. I got tired of it, man. And don't get me wrong, because I would even, if this didn't happen, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. I'd rather go earn my own. You know? But everybody assumes that a person who comes from prison, we can get a job. All of us can. There's no excuse behind it. We can't keep a job because we're not accustomed to who we're around. You know, so say for example, somebody might come in, who knows what, he might be white or something. He comes in, he has the attitude, okay, I'm coming in to work. I don't have an attitude, but you're giving me your attitude because your wife at home. All right, now I have attitude. So I don't bite my tongue with nobody. I don't fear nobody. And if you tell another grown man, like, listen, bro, you need to calm down. Leave your issues at home at home. Come here. No, none of us have no issue with you. You're giving us an issue, and they don't like that. So it's either A, I'm gonna beat him up, or he's gonna beat me up, or B, he's gonna die. One of the two. So to avoid that, the goal was to get a job that I like. So anything that I could work with my hands around the least amount of people. Mechanics, I tried. No, now would have been U.S. Cotton Warehouse. I would have been the utility guy. So I'm not working around nobody. Set machines up, clean them out, go home. It just don't work out like that, man. It just don't work out like that, man.
Martin is a shocking case, and at the same time, he's a study of what happens when prison rules come out into the real world. In prison, something as simple as disrespect is worth killing over, and in Martin's twisted mind, he had been disrespected too many times, which warranted killing several innocent people and traumatizing the one remaining family member.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. People like me should never come home. Never. You know, everybody, you got people in there that cry about coming home. Oh, man. I've been there my whole life. I'm 41 years old and I got 21 years in a box. Dude, don't let me out. And I told him that before I left. This is the biggest mistake you could do. Just let me stay. Why even let me home? I educated myself here. I don't cause trouble here. You know, when I first started my bid, yeah, of course I defend myself against tough guys. But towards the end, don't got no issue. And they still let me out. Now look, you got, I don't know how many of them died, but you got dead people. All this shit could have been avoided. They just left me in the box. I didn't want to come home. I didn't have nowhere to go. I met this girl, and I went to her house.
Lourdes or your sister?
No, my Lourdes. I met her on the internet, and I hurried up and talked my way into her house because that's the only place I could go. And then she always took care of me. I didn't have to work. She told me not to. So anything I wanted, she would buy. Here, I need a computer. She'll buy it. Never ask questions. I need a phone. She'll buy it. I need a tablet. She'll buy it. I ran myself away from her by saying she's cheating all the time. Because I'm not accustomed to being taken care of. I don't want to be there no more. And that's when I started moving around. I went to Texas. I was living on Sam Houston base for like 9 months. And then I went to New Jersey. I was living in Marlton. I don't know, for like a month, 2 months. And then I went back to Illinois. I was living in Elgin. And then I came here to Cleveland. I don't belong outside, man.
So when you talked to Lourdes, that was after you did everything.
Yeah, I tell her everything. I told her I did it. And she said, why? I said, I don't know. It's done. And then I said, yo, I feel like it's a mistake. But it's already done. What can I do? And she said, I'm calling somebody. And she called somebody over here because that's why the police was there. If I would have never called her, they would have never knew they was dead. Man, I could have left. Nobody would have went to that house for weeks. They would have been sitting in there dead for weeks.
We're gonna go eat your food.
Pepperoni, sausage, or pepperoni and sausage?
Surprisingly, We haven't been able to find a single disciplinary mark on Martin's record since he's been behind bars for these homicides, meaning that he's right. He does much, much better behind bars. But there were better ways to get back behind them than murdering his entire family.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. This right here, I could have got away with this. All I had to do is take my sister's car to Pennsylvania and sell that shit. Tell them, paint it over, take the place off, tag the car, do whatever you're gonna do with it. And I would have disappeared. Or a little bonfire in somebody's yard in my face so nobody could say to recognize me.
Oh, you manned up.
Well, it's not about manning up. I'm being honest with you, and you may think I'm crazy. I really want to go back home. I don't belong out here. I don't like it out here. I can't maintain out here. Yeah, people be like, it's women. Man, so what? What can a woman do for you besides sit on you? You still gotta work. You still gotta pay a bill, your own bill, because then you gotta pay her whatever her habits are. Or you ain't gonna have it, because I don't know too many females that's old fashioned. So what difference does it make? The girl that I was dealing with, I wanted to get away from her. I have nothing out here. I have nowhere. I don't have nothing to my name at all. So why not send me back home? Where I had nothing in there, at least I know how to maneuver in a box. I know that every day they're going to wake you up. Sometimes they may come there and search your shit. Sometimes you may get beat up by the police. Who knows? But it's regular. It's what I'm used to. At least I know that the guy walking next to me is going to have enough respect when he bump me to say, excuse me. Out here, they won't do that. They'll just keep walking. And then you're killing me. You bump me. All you have to do is say, excuse me. What happened to the respect? You bump me, I ain't bump you. I can't maintain out here, man. I want to go back home. And this right here, I don't know, man. I'm sitting here thinking maybe they kill me on this one. I don't know. I don't know if Ohio got death penalty. Maybe they kill me. I really don't know. 3 deaths. Hopefully the other guys too. I don't want to die, man. Hoping she gets a chance. But him, I want him to die. I really do. Hopefully somebody makes a mistake and he goes. Her, no. I don't want her to die.
What was up with him? I'm just curious, like what?
Okay, okay. I went to go work with him at a mechanic shop, right? So he made a mistake, and what he did was before the boss could find out, he told the boss, "Oh, well, he did it. He fixed the car." So and then he told me, he was like, "Yo, I gave you credit for fixing the car." We was on our way home. I'm like, "Credit, but you just told me you fixed it up. So why would you tell him I fixed it? You just threw me under the bus, dude. I'm trying to get a job here." "No, I ain't throw you under the bus. I was looking out for you." I said, "I was strike one." Then the second time, he told me, because the guys that he works for was like Arabic and Indian or something, or Pakistani. So they used to always tell me, pick trash up and they throw some more trash, basically stump me around. So he told me, "Yo, you should just listen." I said, "Man, this shit ain't working. $50 a day to be slaved around this. I know how to fix cars. Why they don't let me get up in this car? At least show me. Let me show you." And he was like, "Man, you just need to shut up." I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "Man, you shut up." And they kept talking. He was like, "Yo, I think you're racist. I think you don't like black people." I said, "Dude, if I didn't like you, you wouldn't be in my face." He said, "You always talking tough." I said, "I'm not tough, but I'll kill you, bro. I'll kill you where you stand. And won't lose sleep."
Sadly, Martin proved that was the truth. Ultimately, Martin pleaded guilty to 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of attempted aggravated murder, resulting in 4 life sentences, as well as an additional 16.5 years for the attempted murder of his niece. Our thoughts are with the surviving family members, specifically his niece, who was left without a mother, father, or grandfather as a result of this tragedy. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.